So let's talk about player 333 from Squid Games, Myung-gi, and why he's the ultimate nice guy and absolutely was going to the baby. Now I understand how a lot of women want to believe that he's a good guy even after everything he's done. I mean, look at this beautiful baby face and these puppy dog eyes. But I'm going to prove to you with his own actions why he is not the man you want him to be. Tale as old as time. Just to squash this debate early, this is what Hwang had to say. He is the creator of Squid Games, like the creator, writer, and director. When talking about Myung-gi, he said he tries to look the other way, prioritizing his own interests, immediate financial gain, and greed. He seeks his own interests even at the expense of the baby. One of many interviews in which he talks about it. From the very beginning, we know that player 333 is a very selfish person. The reason that he's in these games is because when he was MG Coin, a YouTuber who talked about crypto, he got a lot of people to buy the Dalmatian cryptocurrency, which ended up going bust. So not only did he lose a ton of money, but he was the reason a lot of other people lost money. Which brings us to Junhee, the lovely player 222. Junhee is actually pregnant with Myung-gi's baby at the start of season 2. Now Myung-gi found out that she was pregnant and told her to get rid of it before just, disappearing off the face of the planet. She couldn't contact him, and she even mentioned she thought he was. But Junhee was also a victim of his cryptocurrency scam. Having lost all her savings, that's why she is in the game. So he didn't just ruin his life and other people's lives, he ruined her life in particular. But now that the baby and his ex are in front of him, now he wants to act like he wants to take care of her throughout the game. But there's even a weird conversation that they have where player 222 realizes that he essentially wants to combine their winnings to pay off his debts. So early on, she feels like he hasn't changed and what's theirs is his. So she's like, nah, and almost immediately does not want anything to do with him, does not want his help. But I think the most telling things happen in the games. For example, when they're in the room game where they go on the merry-go-round, hear a number, and then that number of people all have to get into a room. A member of her alliance style group is running to a room and then falls or gets shoved and can't make it to the room. And so at that moment, Myung-gi runs in last minute. So technically he saves the people in the room, but he also makes it so that the person that didn't make it is. Now Junhee even defends this decision because technically he saved all of their lives. But this is a common justification for him. He didn't mean to do harm. I mean, what would you have done in that situation? And at first that excuse kind of makes sense, but he also shows low levels of empathy, which only gets worse. Then it's time for the hide and seek game. Now Myung-gi convinces Junhee to give him the knife and she can be the hider, and promises that he's going to find her and protect her. So let's look at what he actually does. Now during this game, Myung-gi decides to pair up with this absolute lunatic. And 124 suggests, hey, let's just as many people as we can while we're playing. Now, Myung-gi does say that he is going to find 333 and protect her. And here we see Myung-gi doing the whole, I'm not the real bad guy here situation, right? He's going along with this guy. He's doing everything he says, but he's not the one that wanted to do it, which leads us to this tragedy. In his quest to as many people as he can on his way to protect player 333, he actually her greatest ally. The one protecting the baby. And again, I want you to think about how necessary was it to every person they ran into? How much time did they waste fighting people when he was so dead set on protecting his pregnant ex? And even when he does finally find her, her ally, and then he just says, oh, there's no one in this room, and runs off with the cuckoo bird. But he had already told that guy that he was looking for her and wanted to protect her. So where was the threat in staying there and protecting her further? Because almost immediately after that, she is almost by a different player. He didn't need to run away from her, but he does. Okay. Then we have the jump rope game. Now at this point, Junhee has just had her baby, and she also has a very injured ankle and can't walk or jump. There's no way she's making it through this game. There's so many people online holding baby dolls and then jumping, be like, I could have done it. This poor woman just had a baby. aside from the busted ankle. But I digress. I think the jump rope scene is the nail in the coffin for these two. There's a point where Junhee is literally like, what are you gonna do? Carry me when he seems like he's going to help? And he sees her busted ankle and is just like, oh, nope, and walks away. I don't think he was gonna carry her. I don't think he was gonna try. He didn't. Not to mention, I think we should believe women even in this context. There is a reason she hates him. There is a reason she thinks he's a horrible person, which she says. He consistently chooses himself and takes no accountability, and you can tell she's tired of it. Like, she would rather than trust him again. There's also a portion of that scene that's really interesting where he is jumping and somebody has fallen and is clutching onto the bridge and begging for his help, and he just jumps right over them. And again, you would have people saying, well, what is he supposed to do? We excuse him in the way that he excuses himself. Like, he always has a reason that he does what he does. Until the very last game. Before, we had other worse villains, like this guy or this guy. But now there's nobody left to compare him to. And more importantly, there's nobody left watching. He's not trying to win back Junhee. And basically, no matter what he does, there's not going to be consequences. Like, nobody will know the choices that he makes. And the first time this man holds his own baby, he immediately holds it over the ledge. Look how tall this thing is. Screaming at Jihoon not to come any closer. That's his first contact with his baby. He looks the baby in her beautiful eyes, then holds her over the ledge as leverage, as a bargaining tool. He is banking on the fact that Jihoon cares more about the baby than himself. Sorry, my cat. Because Jihoon could just hit both of them off. He's willing to risk the life of his child in this moment just to win. If you can see this man screaming this way and holding his newborn infant over a ledge and think that he is a good man, a nice guy, baby, I feel we need to unpack some things. This is his defining moment. He has many choices, but he chooses to hold his baby over the ledge because he's selfish. And when the chips are down and nobody's watching, he's going to pick him. He has no one to blame this choice on other than himself, because Jihoon is the perfect example of what a good man does here. More of a father to that baby than he will ever be. And that's my TED Talk on why Myung-gi is not a good man, is not a nice guy, and is absolutely capable and was going to the baby. Let me know what character I should talk about next.